Welcome, everybody. Thank you for bearing with me during my technical difficulties. So today we're talking sun safety and hydration. It's summertime. I know a lot of you are outside every day, hanging out, swimming, going to the beach, and we want to make sure that you are staying protected, drinking water. And first things first, let's talk about it. So what are some ways that you can protect yourself from the sun? Please don't be shy. Shout it out. Tell me what you're doing. Or you can type it in the chat. That's also fine. Sunscreen. Yes. Anyone else? A hat. Sunscreen again. Yes. As much sunscreen as you can get. Okay. Sunglasses. These are all awesome. Thank you for sharing. So yes, wearing sunscreen, hanging out in the shade, wearing sunglasses, an umbrella. Yes, that's shade. Wearing protective t-shirts. So if you have those long sleeve like SPF shirts, those are great too. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to watch a quick video real quick that's going to talk about why we need sunscreen, which I'm sure you probably know a little bit, but here's going to be some science behind it. Okay. All right. Can you hear it? All right. Can't hear it. How do we share sound? Found it. See, you can hear it now.
As our friend. It helps plants grow, keeps us warm, and who doesn't love to lie on the beach on a sunny day? But for all of its good qualities, the sun can also be harmful in large amounts. That's why we invented sunscreen. The purpose of sunscreen is to shield the body from the sun's ultraviolet rays, which have several harmful effects including sunburn, aging, and skin cancer promotion. These rays are separated by their different wavelengths into types such as UVA and UVB, which exert a variety of effects in the skin due to the absorption patterns of chromophores, the parts of the molecules responsible for their color. The primary two chromophores are hemoglobin, found in our red blood cells, and melanin, which gives our skin its pigment. We know that UVB rays cause the skin to burn. The role of UVA rays is less well understood and appears to have an effect on our tanning response, carcinogenesis, and aging. So how does the sunscreen protect us from these rays? There are two basic types of sunscreen: physical and chemical blockers. Physical blockers like zinc oxide or titanium dioxide reflect sun rays by acting as a physical barrier. If you've seen lifeguards with noses covered in white, then you know what this looks like. The same ingredients are primary components of diaper creams, where the goal is also to create a physical barrier. Historically, they haven't always been easy to apply and were conspicuously visible on the skin. But new formulations have made this less of an issue. Chemical blockers, on the other hand, absorb the sun's rays. They deteriorate more quickly than physical sunscreens because their ability to absorb the sun diminishes. Generally, these are more transparent when rubbed on the skin, but some people develop allergic reactions to some of the chemicals. Regardless of the type of sunscreen, all are subjected to testing to determine their sunburn protection factor, or SPF. This is essentially a measure of the protection that the sunscreen will provide from UVB rays before one begins to burn. But even if you don't burn, you still need to use sunscreen, because unless you live in a cave, you're not immune to the effects of the sun. It is true that darker-skinned people and those who tan easily have more built-in protection from sunburns, but they are still vulnerable to the effects of UVA. Children under the age of 6 months, on the other hand, should have almost no sun exposure, as their protective mechanisms are not fully functioning and their skin is more likely to absorb any sunscreen that is applied. Wearing sunscreen helps protect against the development of all three types of skin cancer: basal cell carcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma, and melanoma. On a daily basis, the DNA in your cells is developing mutations and errors that are generally handled by machinery within your cells. But ultraviolet rays from the sun lead to mutations that the cell may not be able to overcome, leading to uncontrolled growth and eventual skin cancer. The scariest thing about this is that usually you can't even see it happening until it's too late. But if these concrete risks to your health are not enough to convince you to use sunscreen, there are aesthetic reasons as well. Along with cigarette smoking, sun damage is the leading cause of premature aging. Photoaging from chronic sun exposure leads to a loss of elasticity in the skin. In other words, making it look saggy. Take a look at this truck driver whose left side was chronically exposed to the sun and notice the difference. This is an important point. Car windows block UVB, the burn rays, but not UVA, the aging rays. It is recommended to use sunscreen daily, but you should pay special attention before prolonged sun exposure, or when at the beach or among snow, since the reflectivity of water and ice amplifies the sun's rays. For these cases, apply about an ounce 15 to 30 minutes before you go out, and once again soon after you get outside. After that, you should reapply it every 2 to 3 hours, especially after swimming or sweating. Otherwise, you should wear protective clothing with ultraviolet protection factor, or UPF. Stay in shaded areas such as under trees or an umbrella, and avoid the sun at the peak hours of 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And what's the best kind of sunscreen? Everyone will have their preference, but look for the following things. Broad spectrum, SPF of at least 30 and water resistant. A light moisturizer with SPF 30 should be good for daily use. Take note if you decide to use a spray. They take several coats to effectively cover your skin, like painting a wall with a spray can versus a paintbrush. So, enjoy the sun, but enjoy it with sunscreen.
All right. Awesome. So I hope you paid attention because we have a little quiz. You can type in your answer in the chat box or you can shout it out loud. Don't be shy. Ooh. All right, here we go. How often should you reapply sunscreen? Does anyone know? Every 2 to 3 hours. Yes, good job, Gabriel. Ooh. Correct. Good job, Gilbert. All right, next question. What are the qualities of a good sunscreen? If you're shopping and you're looking for sunscreen 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., good answer for the next question. Hold on to that one. If you're shopping for sunscreen, what kind of sunscreen are you looking for? Does anyone remember? No guesses? All right. Banana boat sun protection factor 30. Yeah, that's a good sunscreen. So making sure that the sunscreen is at least 30 SPF. So banana boat sunscreen, yes, would be a very good option. It's water resistant. So if you get in the ocean, it's not all going to come off. And broad spectrum. So making sure that it covers both the UVB and UVA rays. Okay, next question. What are the peak sunlight hours? Kyle? Does someone else know what the peak sunlight hours are? Somebody already said it. Yes, 10 to 4. So this doesn't mean that you should just stay inside all day, but if you do go outside when the sun is at its hottest and brightest, make sure that you wear sunscreen. You're reapplying every 2 to 3 hours. You are wearing a hat or sunglasses or a protective shirt. You're hanging out in the shade. You have an umbrella, whatever you need to do to protect yourself from the sun. All right, I think that was the last question. Yep. All right, we're moving on to hydration. This video is much shorter. So let's watch this real quick and we will talk about it.
Hey everyone! Today we are going to talk about something very common, especially during the summers. Dehydration. Dehydration is a condition where your body does not have as much water as it needs to function properly. Our bodies are made up of at least 60% of water at any given time throughout our lives. Some ways our body naturally loses water is through sweating, through breathing, through peeing or urination, while pooping or passing stools, through tears, or through saliva. Some conditions in which our body might lose more water than normal are when we have a fever, suffer from diarrhea, experience vomiting, sweating profusely and excessively, or passing excess urine, such as in diabetes or on diuretic medication. So, how can you tell that you're dehydrated? Let's look at a few signs and symptoms most people experience when there is lack of water in their body. The first sign is obviously a strong urge to drink water or being very thirsty. Your mouth gets dry and sticky and may be accompanied by foul smelling breath or halitosis. You don't feel the urge to go to the bathroom, and if and when you do, you pass dark yellow, concentrated urine. Most individuals also suffer from a headache. The skin begins to dry and forms cracks due to the lack of moisture. Very often, people also experience muscle cramps due to dehydration. In cases of severe dehydration, you start to feel dizzy and uneasy. The heart starts beating faster to keep you conscious, and you breathe deeply and rapidly. You feel like you have no energy and are unable to think clearly. If your body cannot cope with the lack of water, it may result in a loss of consciousness or a fainting episode. Dehydration is a condition that is super simple to avoid. Just drink more water. If this video has taught you how to identify when you might be dehydrated, please do share it with your friends. Don't forget to like this video.
All right. You know what's coming next. It's going to be a quiz. So, I hope that you paid attention. But first, we're going to check, all of us, we're going to see if we're dehydrated. So we're going to do the dehydration pinch test. You're going to take your hand and you're going to pinch the center, pull it up just a little bit, and then you're going to release it. And if it goes all the way back down, then you're not dehydrated. If your skin stays there, then you probably are a little dehydrated and you should drink some water. Is anyone dehydrated right now? Nope, we're all super hydrated. Okay, cool. Well, just remember the dehydration pinch test. You can always do this anywhere you're at to see if you're dehydrated. And then let's see how much water we should all be drinking each day. So on the left side, you can see body weight. However much you weigh, you're going to go over and look at glasses of water. So for me, it would be like 9 glasses of water. But if I'm exercising, if I'm outside sweating a lot, or some people, if they're pregnant, there's plenty of circumstances where they may need to drink more water per day. So drinking an extra glass every time that you're out, every 20 minutes that you're out in the heat is going to be really good. So you can look at this and see how much water you think that you need, but also this video will be on YouTube, so you can come back and look at it later. All right, so we need to drink water, but also it's super important that we are replenishing our body with electrolytes, not just water. So first thing that comes to mind when I say electrolytes is probably Gatorade for a lot of you. Gatorade, Powerade, Pedialyte. Coconut water is also really good, full of electrolytes. Liquid IV is good if you're really dehydrated. You can pop one of these packs in some water. But just make sure that you're staying hydrated with water and electrolytes. Okay, here's our quiz. What percentage of our body is made of water? Who knows the answer to this? Anybody know how much of your body is made of water? You can take a guess. Blood. We do have a lot of blood. All right, let's see. 60%, 100%. Gilbert, are you a bottle of water?
Oh,
100%,
yes, I'm a
Kyle.
bottle of water too.
Well, then you better drink a lot of water to replenish that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, next question. What is one way to tell if someone is dehydrated? There are a lot of correct answers to this, so if you know one, that's fine. Panting, yes. What else? Sweating. Dizzy, yes, that would be They're very dehydrated at that point. So yes, good answers, everyone. They're very thirsty. They have bad breath, dry mouth, dark urine, sweating, headaches. Yes, those are all great answers. All right. Last question, I think. What could you drink that would give you electrolytes? We just saw a couple examples of these. Coconut water, yes, that one's very popular here on the islands. Coconut water. What else? Apple juice. Apple juice could be one, yeah. Milk. Good, okay. Gatorade. Yes, Gatorade, Powerade. Pedialyte was one of them. Good job, everyone. Yeah, sports drinks, coconut water, smoothies. If you make your own smoothies, you can put all kinds of nutrients in there, even coconut water. Pedialyte. All right, so we're going to talk about this now. Little discussion. How are you going to protect yourself from the sun and or stay hydrated this summer? And if you're doing something cool this summer that's outside in the heat, tell us about it. Tell us how you're going to stay hydrated and protect yourself from the sun. Drink water, put sunscreen on. Yes. We're going to put our minimum SPF 30 banana boat sunscreen on. Swimming, you're going swimming at the beach, in the pool, wearing sunglasses and a hat, staying in the shade, drinking water. Great job, Gilbert. Working on your power and strength. Yeah, that's good. Sunblock, shades. Yeah. Great answers, everyone. All right. I'm going to move on. Feel free to keep telling me what you're going to do to protect yourself from the sun this summer. If you have any questions, song requests for the dance party, you can email me. Michelle is still going to be on the email for a few more weeks. And as always, this is recorded. It will be on YouTube if you want to watch it again. If you need to see how many glasses of water you should drink, or if you can't remember anything from the sunscreen video, it'll be on there. And our dance party, next dance party, it's going to be Friday, July 14th at 4 p.m. So be there or be square. And now we can talk if you guys want to talk.